You wake before the sun rises over the quiet hills of the Roman countryside. The world is still wrapped in darkness, and the cool air moves gently through the small wooden shutters of your home. There are no marble halls here, no cheering crowds, only the distant whisper of wind moving through open fields. You rest on a simple straw mattress beneath a coarse wool blanket. Your body still feels the weight of yesterday's labor, but the day is already calling you back to the land. You are not a senator shaping the laws of Rome. You are not a soldier marching beneath golden standards. You are a peasant. As the first light slowly touches the horizon, you step outside. The earth beneath your feet is cool and damp with morning dew. Before you, the fields stretch endlessly, wheat, barley, and olive trees divided by rough stone walls built by hands like yours. The land is not yours. It belongs to a wealthy Roman citizen, someone who may never see these fields with his own eyes. Yet every harvest, a portion must be given away. This is the quiet rhythm of your life. You rise, you work, you endure. And this is how your day begins. Soon the household begins to stir. A small fire is lit inside the hearth, and the faint smell of smoke mixes with the cool morning air. Breakfast is simple, perhaps coarse bread dipped in watered wine, maybe a few olives if the season has been kind. There is no luxury in this meal. It is not meant to delight, only to sustain. You eat quietly, conserving your strength. The day ahead will demand steady hands and patient endurance. In Rome, great leaders speak of glory and empire. Here, in the countryside, survival is enough, and the sun has only just begun to rise. With the first full light of morning, you make your way into the fields. The soil feels cool beneath your fingers as you begin your work. There is always something to tend, crops to check, weeds to pull, tools to repair, animals to feed. The labor is repetitive, steady, and unending. Hours pass not by the ticking of a clock, but by the slow movement of the sun across the sky. You do not measure time in minutes. You measure it in effort, and the land asks for all of it. As the morning advances, the sun climbs higher, and the air begins to warm. Sweat forms slowly on your brow as you continue your work beneath the open sky. But there is always a quiet thought in the back of your mind. Harvest season will come, and with it, the collectors. A portion of what you grow will not remain in your home. Grain, oil, perhaps even livestock. Part of it will travel far from these peaceful fields. You do not argue with this system. You were born into it, and like your parents before you, you endure it quietly. By midday, the sun stands high and unyielding. The light is brighter now, and the shade of an olive tree offers brief relief. You sit for a moment, breathing slowly, listening to the distant sounds of insects humming in the heat. Far away, Rome grows larger and more powerful with each passing year. Marble temples rise, roads stretch across continents. Yet here, in the quiet countryside, life remains unchanged. Your world is measured not in conquests, but in seasons. Planting, tending, harvesting, and then beginning again. As the afternoon deepens, the heat begins to soften. The light turns warmer, casting long shadows across the fields. Your family works nearby, moving slowly but steadily. No one speaks much. Words are saved for what truly matters. Children gather small bundles of grain. Older hands guide younger ones with quiet patience. Every task, no matter how small, carries weight. Survival depends on shared effort. In these fields, there is no glory, only cooperation, only endurance. Beneath the vast Roman sky, your family's quiet labor continues, unseen by the empire, yet essential to its existence. As evening approaches, the air grows cooler. The sky shifts from gold to soft shades of pink and violet. You gather your tools carefully, wiping soil from worn wooden handles. Animals are led back toward shelter. The fields grow quieter now, resting after a long day of labor. Your body feels heavy, but there is quiet satisfaction in completion. Another day has passed, another day endured. The empire continues its march far beyond the horizon, but here, life moves gently toward night. Night settles gently over the countryside. Inside your small home, A modest fire flickers against the clay walls. The scent of smoke and warm bread fills the quiet space. Dinner is simple. Coarse bread, perhaps lentils or a few olives. The meal is eaten slowly, without hurry. There is comfort in its familiarity. No musicians play here. No grand conversations unfold. Only soft voices, low and calm, sharing the stillness of the evening. After the meal, the fire burns lower. Outside, the sky is deep and dark, scattered with quiet stars. The world feels distant and still. You sit for a moment longer, listening to the soft crackle of wood and the gentle breathing of your family nearby. The empire feels far away now. Here, in this small space of warmth and shadow, your life is simple. Difficult, yes, but steady, predictable, enduring. When the fire fades to embers, you lie down once more upon your straw mattress. The blanket feels rough but familiar. Your body aches gently from the labor of the day, yet there is comfort in exhaustion. It is the kind of tiredness that promises sleep. Outside, the countryside rests beneath the same stars that shine over Rome itself. Tomorrow, the rhythm will begin again. But for now, you close your eyes, and the quiet takes you. Before sleep fully takes you, your mind drifts through quiet thoughts. Tomorrow will be much the same as today. The fields will wait. The sun will rise without haste. There is comfort in knowing what comes next. No sudden change, no distant ambition. Only the steady rhythm of soil and season. Your breathing slows. The warmth of the small home surrounds you. Outside, the night deepens gently over the Roman land. Hours pass quietly. The countryside rests in silence. No carts roll along the distant roads. No merchants call out in crowded markets. Only the wind moves through the wheat, brushing gently across the land. The empire sleeps too, though its ambitions never truly fade. But here, in this simple rural world, the night is peaceful, undisturbed, whole. Long before dawn, the stars begin to fade. The horizon lightens almost imperceptibly. A new day prepares itself in silence. The cycle continues as it always has, not driven by glory, not shaped by power, but guided by necessity. Soon the rooster will call. Soon footsteps will return to the soil. And life, steady and unremarkable, will begin again. The first light of morning returns, soft and pale across the countryside. A thin mist lingers above the wheat, drifting slowly as the air begins to warm. You step outside once more, feeling the cool earth beneath your feet. The hills glow faintly in gold, and the silence feels almost sacred. For a brief moment before the work begins, the land belongs only to the quiet. Another day stands before you. Familiar, predictable, steady as the rising sun. Inside the small yard beside your home, you prepare your tools carefully. Wood worn smooth by years of use rests comfortably in your hands. There is no excess here, only what is necessary. Each tool carries the memory of countless mornings. Repairs made by candlelight, handles replaced, blades sharpened patiently. In this simple preparation there is quiet dignity. Work may be humble, but it is honest, and it is yours to carry. The morning deepens, and the fields begin to shimmer beneath the rising sun. A gentle breeze moves through the wheat, creating soft waves of gold that stretch toward the hills. You bend slowly to your work, feeling the steady rhythm of movement in your arms and shoulders. The scent of dry earth rises faintly in the warming air. There is no rush, no urgency beyond the quiet demand of the land itself. Each motion flows into the next, calm and deliberate. Above you, the sky widens into clear blue. The world feels vast, yet your place within it feels certain. As the sun climbs higher, light gathers along the stone walls that divide the fields. Olive trees cast rounded shadows across the dry soil. You pause again, not from weakness, but from habit. Work in measured intervals. Breathe in. Breathe out. The land does not respond well to haste. It favors patience, consistency, care. In these quiet pauses you listen. To the wind, to distant birds, to the faint whisper of wheat brushing against itself. The afternoon stretches slowly across the land. You walk beside the low stone wall that marks the boundary of the fields, your fingers brushing lightly across its rough surface. Each stone was placed by hands long gone, yet they remain, steady and unmoving beneath the sun. The wheat sways in quiet rhythm beside you, bending and rising like a slow breath. You pause for a moment, looking over the land that shapes your days. It asks much from you, but it also gives enough. Enough to endure. Enough to continue. With steady steps, you lift a small bundle of wheat onto your shoulder. The weight presses gently against your back, familiar and expected. Long shadows stretch across the earth now, following your movement as you walk toward home. The air cools little by little, carrying the scent of dry grass and distant wood smoke. Another day's effort rests quietly in your hands. There is no celebration, only quiet completion, the kind that asks for nothing more than rest. The sun begins its slow descent, turning the fields into waves of deep gold. Light settles gently across the wheat, glowing against your worn clothing and weathered hands. Each step you take parts the tall stalks with a soft whisper, as though the land itself acknowledges your presence. In this hour of fading warmth, the countryside feels almost suspended in time. The hills burn softly in orange light, and the sky stretches endlessly above you. You feel small beneath it, yet rooted, not forgotten, not invisible, simply a quiet part of something far older than Rome itself. You stop at the edge of the field and look back across the land. The sky is painted in layers of amber and soft crimson, fading slowly into approaching blue. For a moment, there is no movement, no demand, no labor. Only the quiet presence of earth and sky meeting at the horizon. Your breathing slows as the warmth of the day slips gently away. Somewhere far beyond these hills, the empire continues to expand, to build, to conquer. But here, in this fading light, none of that seems urgent. What matters is simpler. The soil beneath your feet, the shelter waiting behind you, the certainty that tomorrow will arrive as it always does. Twilight settles softly over the fields as you begin the slow walk home. The last warmth of the sun clings to the horizon, fading from gold into deepening blue. Your footsteps are unhurried, pressing gently into the soil that has carried you through another day of steady labor. Behind you, the wheat grows darker in the falling light, becoming a quiet sea beneath the evening sky. Ahead, a thin thread of smoke rises from your small home. It is not grand nor impressive, but it is yours. A place of rest, a place where the noise of the world cannot reach. Inside, the fire has already been lit. Its glow dances gently along the clay walls, painting them in warm shades of amber and shadow. The scent of smoke and simple cooking fills the small space, wrapping around you like a familiar embrace. You set down your tools near the doorway and sit quietly for a moment. The day no longer demands anything from you. The land has taken its share of effort, and now it offers stillness in return. In the soft crackle of burning wood, there is reassurance, a reminder that rest is earned and deeply deserved. A simple meal is shared in quiet gratitude. Coarse bread is broken slowly, passed from hand to hand, without hurry. A small bowl of lentils rests at the center of the table, humble yet sufficient. There are no grand stories told tonight, no urgent matters to discuss, only the soft murmur of familiar voices and the comfort of shared presence. In this small circle of warmth and firelight, the vast empire feels impossibly distant, as though it belongs to another world entirely. Night settles fully now. The fields rest beneath a pale silver moon, their movement slowed to a faint whisper in the cooling air. From the small window of your home, a gentle orange glow spills into the darkness, a quiet signal of warmth against the vast open land. Beyond the hills, unseen roads connect distant cities, distant ambitions, distant power. But here, the only sound that matters is the wind brushing softly through the grain. The empire may stretch across continents, yet this small patch of earth remains unchanged, faithful to its ancient rhythm. The fire has dimmed to glowing embers, casting a soft and trembling light across the clay walls. You lie down once more upon the straw mattress, the weight of the day resting gently in your muscles. Outside, the countryside breathes in slow silence. Stars scatter across the sky above Rome and beyond, shining equally over emperors and farmers alike. Sleep approaches not as an escape, but as a quiet continuation of the cycle that has shaped your life since childhood. The night deepens further and the world grows still. The wheat fields shimmer faintly beneath the moon, like a quiet sea of silver stretching into the distance. No footsteps cross the soil now. No voices rise in the dark. Time moves gently in these hours, unnoticed and unmeasured. The empire dreams of expansion and legacy, yet here, in the silent countryside, existence remains beautifully simple. Breath follows breath. Darkness follows light, and the ancient rhythm continues without haste. Somewhere in the deepest part of the night, the darkness begins to loosen its hold. The stars fade almost imperceptibly, and a pale blue light gathers along the horizon. The land waits in stillness, suspended between rest and awakening. Nothing moves yet, not the wind, not the wheat. Even the birds remain silent. It is a fragile moment, this quiet space before dawn, when the world feels untouched and whole, as though it is being created again for the very first time. You rise before the sun fully reveals itself. The air is cool against your skin as you step outside once more. A thin veil of mist clings to the fields, softening the shapes of hills and trees. Another day begins exactly as the last one ended, quietly, without announcement or spectacle. There is comfort in this repetition, no sudden upheaval, no uncertainty. Only the steady promise of work, effort, and the simple continuity of life unfolding again. The sun finally rises, sending long rays of golden light across the fields. The wheat catches the brightness and seems to awaken, shifting gently in the warming air. You stand still for a moment, watching the horizon glow. This is how the cycle renews itself, not with noise, but with light, not with ambition, but with patience. The empire may record its victories in stone and marble, yet your days are written in soil, wind, and quiet endurance. Morning spreads steadily across the countryside, bright but never harsh. You walk once more between the rows of wheat, your hands brushing lightly against the grain as it bends beneath your touch. The warmth of the sun begins to settle into the earth, releasing the quiet scent of soil and straw. Each day resembles the last, yet never feels entirely the same. Small differences live in the air, in the wind's direction, in the softness of the light, in the subtle shift of clouds above the hills. You notice these things without thinking. They are the language of the land, and you have learned to listen. A narrow stone path leads you toward another section of the field. Olive trees stand quietly nearby, their twisted trunks shaped by decades of wind and sun. You carry your wooden tool across your shoulder, its weight familiar and balanced. There is a rhythm in your steps that mirrors the rhythm of the land itself. Not hurried, not idle, simply steady. The world beyond these hills may chase glory and expansion, but here, time moves at the pace of seasons, measured not in victories, but in harvests. By midday, the sun stands higher and stronger in the sky. You step beneath the shade of an olive tree, allowing its silver-green leaves to soften the light. The air hums faintly with insects drifting lazily in the warmth. You sit for a moment, not from exhaustion, but from understanding. The land rewards patience, not force. You breathe slowly, listening to the distant murmur of wind moving across the fields. Even in stillness, the world continues its quiet work. The afternoon advances with quiet certainty. You pause to adjust a section of wooden fencing, pressing each post deeper into the soil. The work is small, almost unnoticed, yet it protects what you have grown with steady care. Sweat gathers lightly on your brow, warmed by the patient sun above. There is no audience here, no applause. Only the simple knowledge that what you build today will stand tomorrow. And sometimes that is more than enough. Long shadows begin to stretch once again across the field, marking the steady passage of time. You walk along the edge of the wheat, observing its slow transformation as the light softens. The day does not rush toward its ending. It simply unfolds, moment by moment, in quiet obedience to the turning of the earth. You feel that turning in your bones, as natural and dependable as your own breath. Once more, the sky begins to glow with the colors of evening. Gold deepens into amber, and amber into a quiet crimson near the horizon. You stand in stillness, watching the light withdraw gently from the land. There is comfort in this return, the same path of the sun, the same cooling air, the same quiet closing of another day. Nothing dramatic has occurred, yet something essential has been preserved, the steady continuation of life itself. Evening settles once more across the countryside, soft and unhurried. A faint mist begins to gather above the fields, blurring the edges of earth and sky. The warmth of the day slowly retreats, leaving behind a gentler air. You walk the familiar path toward your home, each step steady and unremarkable. There is no need for urgency here. The land has given what it could, and you have answered in return. Balance has been restored for another day. Inside, the fire glows softly once again, casting gentle shadows along the clay walls. The world outside grows distant as darkness deepens beyond the small window. There is comfort in repetition. The same quiet room, the same simple meal, the same steady breathing as you prepare for rest. Nothing extraordinary has taken place, yet everything necessary has been fulfilled. The night returns fully, wrapping the countryside in a vast and gentle silence. Stars shimmer quietly above the fields, unchanged by the passing of another day. The wheat rests beneath their distant light, and so the cycle continues, as it has for generations before and generations yet to come. The sun will rise again, the land will wait patiently, and life, steady and enduring, will unfold once more in quiet harmony.